Welcome to Echoes of My Imagination. My name is Tracy Lee. Sit down, relax. Let me tell you a story. Today's story is called The Moonlight Thread of Faithia. In the riverlit village of Ilhenmir, a girl was born with moonlight in her hands and silence in her song. They say she walked the forest barefoot, wove threads no eye could follow, and left behind only dreams that shimmer like stars caught in dew. Let's get into it. Faithia was born under a veil of starlight, with her eyes wide open and silent lips. The village of Ilhenmir, perched at the edge of the moss-covered riverlands, hushed itself the day she arrived. Even the willows bowed. The midwives murmured prayers, not out of fear, but out of reverence. Her mother, a moon weaver named Leora, held her close and whispered, "She's an echo, returned." It was said with a tremble and a tear. Faithia did not coo, she hummed, soft resonant tones that made candle flames pulse in rhythm. Before she could walk, she was seen arranging shells and feathers in intricate spirals that radiated outward like sacred geometry drawn in instinct. Her older brother Matthew, 3 years her senior, was her tether to this world. Where Faithia floated in silence, Matthew spoke in songs. He brought joy to their mossy household, singing with their goats, storytelling by firelight. But even he, the most rambunctious boy in the village, quieted in Faithia's presence. From the moment she reached for his hand as a toddler, a thread formed between them, not of words, but of rhythm. He would sit beside her for hours, watching her braid invisible lines into the air. He didn't need to understand what she was doing. He trusted it. He once told their mother, "When Faithia looks at me, it's like the stars are remembering." By age 5, Faithia began weaving what the villagers called moonlight thread. It wasn't just fancy string. It shimmered faintly, like gossamer soaked in starlight. No one knew how she made it. At night she walked barefoot into the forest, her arms moving slowly between trees, her fingers pulling threads from the air like a harpist plucking cosmic strings. Those who followed her saw nothing by dawn, only trees, dew, and stillness. But they dreamed deeply for weeks, dreams of lives they have forgotten, places never traveled, griefs never grieved, and always moonlight. The seer Noella tried once to follow. She returned shaken, muttering, "She doesn't weave thread. She mends time." Faithia and Matthew remained close throughout childhood. By her teenage years, she began to drift. She could feel places calling her, places needing to be remembered, so she left. She journeyed through Lutheran Ross, a crystalline plain where the ground sang beneath her feet. In Veiler's Edge, she sat in the echo caves for 7 days and came out with a new strand, dark, shimmering, and vibrating slightly. She never spoke of what she heard there. In the ghost town of Silver Hollow, she left a single thread woven into the cracked town bell. Within a year, forgotten names returned to people's minds. Grandparents were suddenly remembered. Songs, lost for generations, came back in the wind. Decades later, Faithia returned to Ilhenmir, older but glowing, like someone lit from within. She built her house not on the ground, but among the sycamores. It was not a house so much as a woven cradle of living wood, suspended in vines that hummed if touched. Children climbed to her during storms. Grieving elders visited her porch and left with softened hearts. Birds brought her trinkets. Cats slept at her door. And Matthew, who had become a village healer, was the only one allowed to ascend without knocking. They spent evenings together on her high platform, sipping herbal teas, speaking softly of dreams. Their bond was unchanged, stronger even, the thread unbroken by distance or time. She left without sound. One spring morning, her tree home was empty. The wind didn't blow. The birds didn't sing. Her home remained untouched, but something was missing. On her pillow lay a single silver thread, glowing faintly, wrapped around a feather that had no earthly match. Matthew found it. He did not cry. He placed it around his wrist. And that night, the stars over Ilhenmir pulsed once like a heartbeat. They say Faithia became the loom. And that's it for today. Thanks for listening to Echoes of My Imagination. I'm Tracy Lee. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and follow, and I'll catch you next time.